Hi friends! So today we're going to be talking about a new reading skill that I kind of want you to start looking at and thinking a little more deeply about while you're reading. So you guys are already really good experts at the connect. So we haven't done a lot of practice with the connecting together just because you guys have shown me that you understand what it means to connect to a text, you understand what it means to connect to each other. So just because we're learning a new reading strategy doesn't mean that we need to just forget about these things. You guys have also learned with me how to do something called visualizing. So that was when we listened to a story and you were able to draw a picture listening to the picture words that we were using, and then you yourself did a little bit of visualizing writing as well. And it also tied into kind of our six senses as well, as our senses do tie into our ability to visualize and picture things. So the new one that we're going to talk about in practice is the power to question. So good readers not only ask questions while they're reading, but they ask questions before they start reading as well as after. So there's many different kinds of questions that readers ask while they read. So we're going to explore the two types of questions that you have probably found yourself asking before. So let's dive on in. All right, friends, so let's talk about the two different kinds of questions that we can ask while we're reading. So I'm going to encourage you to also create this chart along with me. So you can either use a blank piece of paper or you can use the template that I've provided. So if you're making your own, you're just going to write quick questions on one side, deep thinking questions on the other side, and then like we've practiced, you're just going to divide it off with the big T, like a T chart. All right, so let's begin by talking about the differences between quick questions and deep thinking questions. So the biggest difference between a quick question and a deep thinking question is how we get the answer to our question. So quick questions, these are questions where we can find the answer in the book. So while we're reading, we might have questions, but we know that later on, the author will probably answer our question in the story. So that's the big difference. Quick questions, the answer is in the book. Deep thinking questions, answer is not in the book. And I'm going to underline my not to really emphasize that it's not in the book. And we'll practice examples of what these questions maybe sound like as well in the next video. The next big difference between a quick question and a deep thinking question is our quick questions, there's usually only one right answer. One right answer. So again, that answer can be found in the book. Whereas our deep thinking questions, there are many answers. So there's not one right or wrong answer. I'm just going to add some little bullet points here just so that you guys can kind of see how they're broken down here. All right. The last thing that makes quick questions different from deep thinking questions is quick questions stop our thinking. So I'm going to draw a traffic light like so, and I'm going to color in it red to signal stopping. And then I'm going to write in big words, stop. Because the reason it stops our thinking is because, well, the answer is found in the book and there's only one right answer. As soon as we find that answer, we no longer have to do any more thinking. Whereas a deep thinking question, I'm going to draw my traffic light again. Can you guess what color a deep thinking question might be on our traffic light? It's going to be green. Because deep thinking questions keep our thinking going. So I'm going to write go. Because the answer is not in the book and because there's so many answers, deep thinking questions maybe require us to go out and look in other places for the answer, or it might require us to just do our own thinking. So again, quick questions, the answer's in the book. There's usually one right answer, and it stops our thinking once we find the answer. Deep thinking questions, the answer is not in the book. There can be many different answers, and deep thinking questions carry our thinking forward. Sometimes our deep thinking questions might even lead to more deep thinking questions. So I encourage you, like I said, to make your own chart like this. When we write out these ideas, it helps it stick into our brain a little bit better compared to me just telling you. Have this chart available this week as we explore quick and deep thinking questions. Bye for now.